The other day we spoke to you and we just started the garage. I think we've got a couple courses of bricks around and we'd up to tray or something. So since then we've been on it this week. Got all the inside up to 6 courses round, and then we've backed it up as well. Because the ground's so wonky here, we're going to get scaffold about here. Normally you'd want scaffold a bit higher, but we can't really reach any further because the ground's down. So we're going to get quite a low scaffold, but it just make our life easier than trying to struggle and get some more height on it. So yeah, it's that time of year now. The weather's starting to get really chilly. So whenever we build something now, every night we just cover it up with hessian, or as soon as we finish building it, cover it up with some hessian. That just keeps the frost off it, because if the frost, while the cement's still wet, if the frost gets in there, it can just kill the cement, like, and ruin it. So on the garage here, I'm bedding a wall plate on top of the steel, ready for the roof to sit on. You can see what I do is a bed of cement, lay the timber on top of it, and then I go over with a 6-foot level and a lump hammer, tapping the timber down, and so get it as good as I can with a 6-foot level. And then I'll go over it again with the laser level, double check it. So I'll beep it in with the laser right the way through. But also as I'm doing that, I'm leveling the plate front to back as well, so that it's flat when the roof trusses sit on top of it. This steel was actually a bit awkward because where it got made, well, this is what I was told, is the heat of the weld made the steel ping up a bit in the middle, so it was actually a bit bowed. It had kind of like a 10-12 mil bow in the middle, so you can't quite tell in the video, but in the center of the steel I've got hardly any muck under the wall plate, and it goes out to a thicker joint right the way through. So that was just an extra thing to get over, but that's what wall plates are for. Any discrepancy, you get over it with the wall plate, so that whatever happens, the roof sits on nice and level. So the focus really this week is has been getting the block work up to wall plate, ready for. So on the garage we've been getting block work up for the wall plate to get the roof on, and same with the house. So on these thermalites, I'm just laying the top course of brick. That's where the wall plate is going to sit on. That's wall plate height, so we're getting that through. But also I'm on the outside backing that up, so it's not just a single skin of thermalite block work. We're getting it insulated and the concrete blocks up on the outside, so the walls are plenty strong enough to take the weight of them heavy trusses. So that's been the push really, to crack on, get all the block work up, the wall plate, get it backed up so it's nice and strong. We're also going to jump out and get the stonework up on the front, so that those front stone walls are strong enough to take the weight of the roof as well. So this is the delivery of the attic trusses for the garage. Turned up about 5 o'clock Friday, which everyone knows is a crap time to be unloading lorries. I was a bit nervous actually at this point whether I was going to be able to lift all of the trusses in one go with the forklift. But the lorry driver seemed confident, and everyone was in that Friday afternoon mode. So yeah, we just went for it and picked it up easy peasy. So that was good. And they turned up, ready for us to get them on the following Monday. So perfect timing, really. So these are the roof trusses for the garage. They turned up Friday afternoon, so we just unloaded them. We've just lent them here out of the way. But they're good, they're attic trusses, so they are basically, they've got your upstairs space built in. So this will be, I haven't actually stood in it yet, but this is the actual size of the room we'll have above the garage, like, you know, for an office or whatever we decide to put up there. This is the workshop bit, but we're going to put a staircase in here to get up to the attic trusses, to the room upstairs. So I'm literally, at the minute, I'm just drawing on this back wall the size of the attic truss that's going to be upstairs, so that I can plan where the staircase is going to go downstairs. That bit inside the truss I was stood in, this is the wall here, and it goes up to that height, and then we've got the angle going up there. But I'm just trying to figure out our staircase, because downstairs our staircase I'm hoping is going to start here, so we'll have room. I need the door to be able to open, and then the staircase needs to start about here. So I'm just measuring to make sure I've got enough room to get up, so when I'm up in the attic you're not banging your head on the slope of the ceiling. So you've got to have 2 meters of clearance at the top of the stairs. So 2 meters is there, and the top of my step is here. So I've actually got plenty of clearance. So when I stand up here, I'm not going to bang my head on that slate, and I can walk out that way into the room. So that's good. That means I can put the staircase where I want the staircase to be, and it'll all work out. I've got like a pallet full of timber.
Yeah.
So I'm guessing if we put all the trusses on.
Yeah, and then we do all the other bits.
And then we figure that bit out, don't we? Because that's got like a ridge beam.
In between them all.
Yeah, for us to cut that bit in.
And then the braces was the red bits, aren't they?
Yeah. If we go off this one, so I was thinking we plumb that up and then fix it that end.
Yeah.
Do the same the other end, and then just pull a string line through. So we know this wall plate's spot on, and then just parallel off that one, Shay. So we bedded this plate on level the other day, so it's all perfectly level, but it's a bit in and outy. So all we're doing is just checking it's plumb with the wall, fixing it, and then we're going to parallel across, check that one, check it's all nice and parallel, and then we'll mark it up where the trusses are going, and then put the trusses on. Right, over to you. Yeah, on top there. So you want the back of that upright plumb with the back of your plate.
Go that way a little bit.
I don't mind, yeah. Happy? Measure out where we need to be with it, shall we? Right, so today focusing on getting the garage roof done. It's been a bit of a hectic start so far, but we've got the first two up. We're just going to brace them in place, plumb and upright and nice and strong, and then we're going to start passing them up, the trusses up two at a time. And then maybe we might be able to get 4 or 5 up at a time. Just get them all on there, then we can space them all out where they need to be, and then start cutting in all the more tricky trusses in afterwards. But I'll show you what I mean by that later on when we get to it. All right, you ready?
Yeah.
Any minute now. Is that it?
I think that's it.
Right, so we've got all the trusses on. That went alright, a bit slower than I thought. I was hoping to have it done by a bit quicker, but just one of those things. We get sent a bag of goodies when the roof turns up. It's all the hangers for like all the connecting parts. So basically, these ones will end up getting nailed on here. Basically, even though we fixed it there, which is plenty, then you've still got to nail a load of nails into this wall plate and into this. So there's no way that can go anywhere, like, you know. So that's the job we got to do. But we're going to borrow Joe's gun that just fires these nails in rather than, otherwise we got to hammer them all in. So we'll do that on another day when we've got his gun here. They've just done the trimmers for the stairs, where the stairs are going to come up, and they've set out the Velux windows. We've got, well, I think they're starting to, we've got one Velux here, one down the other end. Once they've got that done, they are setting out the dormer window, which is in the middle, which is going to take a bit of time, but I think they're getting there. It's all heading the right way. So here I'm putting the cavity trays on. Awesome bit of kit really. They turn up and you basically bed them on. So I'm bedding them on a bit of cement. They've got 150mm overlap built into them and they interlock into each other, the black plastic. So all I do, bed them up on, slide that lead underneath the other one, click it in so they connect, and then I just put those blocks on top of them just to hold them in position so they don't go anywhere once I've bedded them on, until I'm ready to build them in. Yeah, so now I've got the trays on. I'm building the 2 courses of bricks over the top. This is probably just to get me back to gauge, I think, in 2 bricks. But you can see where I've built in the weak vent. That's for any moisture that gets into the cavity, comes down the tray, hits the back of the cavity trays. Any moisture can come out of those weak vents there. What I'm doing here is getting the concrete blocks up on the outside. It's going to be rendered on the back here, hence why we're doing concrete blocks. On the site, it was a pretty big gamble because on whether we'd get water or not. I think that's what some of the other people who might have been interested in the site were worried about. Basically, I took the gamble that we'd be able to get a borehole down somewhere and get some water that we can then draw out from the ground, clean and pump into the house. That is still the plan. It's just the water quality isn't great. So when it gets pumped out, you've got to clean the water with all these chemicals and stuff. And that then is not very good for all your pipe work and all that shit. So then you have to clean that with something else and clean that, and it's going to be quite an expensive way to get clean water. While I was up here, I was chatting to the water guy, and he said the well might actually be a viable option instead of the borehole. Because originally I got told by someone that the well wouldn't be good enough, so we didn't really follow that, explore that route. So what we're doing this week is yesterday we pumped all the water out of the well. We're seeing today how much it's filled up within 24 hours. So at lunchtime we're going to have another look and we'll be able to measure how much water is drawn back into the well. And then we'll pump it all out again, do it over the next few days. And that'll give us an idea of how much water comes into this well and whether it's enough to feed the water to the house. And if it is, and the water quality is better than what's in the borehole, we might be able to use the well. So it won't just be a pretty feature in someone's garden anymore, it'll be their water supply. So yeah, watch this space. This is me just raking out big section of stonework that me and Ferg got built to back the thermalites up ready for a roof. I'm just raking the joints out now with a gauging trowel, going over it, then I'll wire brush it off and then soft brush it off. You can see how nice the blue lias looks, really nice and blue, sharp courses, really smart, happy with it. This is laying blue lias on the front, so where the big steel was, that big open window, is that bit there. We're building up to the top. We want to get that up to the top scaffold lift again, give it the strength, but also so we can start building the gables once me and Joey have put the roof on and cut that front section in over the ridge beam. But this was a really nice couple of days work really. The sun was finally out, we had some dry weather, and me and Ferg just cracked on, got these 2 front pillars up, and they look beautiful. That's some of the best stonework on the whole job actually, those ones, just because we had the weather on side, and everything was just flowing nice, you know. I think it must have been raining a long time before, because all the stones there are beautiful, so we must have spent a long time dressing stone beforehand, and then we had a load to choose from. So yeah, really happy with those front panels, they look great. So this bit, you can see we've bedded the wall plates on. We've bedded them on right through, levelled them all across, laser levelled them in, all hunky-dory. This is the morning where me and Joey have gone along, we've fixed them in place. So we've screwed them, put the straps on, they're not going anywhere. And we're actually setting out and marking where the trusses go and fixing those truss clips that I was talking about. So those truss clips are all fixed in place, ready to go. You can see we've got the stack of roof trusses, and we're moving them into the middle onto the trestles. We're marking out the bird's mouths and cutting those out, and then stacking them against the garden wall once they're cut and ready. Bird's mouth is the little detail, is like the cut you make out of the truss, and that sits on the wall plate. So big day today, we're putting the trusses on the house. We spent all day yesterday cutting out the bird mouths and the fiddly bits, which I'll show you in a little while. And we've just started lifting them on this morning. It's pretty cool because I can't really see what's going on once I get close to the scaffold. So we've got a radio on the go and just hoping for the best. So these are the trusses for the house roof. We spent all day yesterday cutting these bird mouths out. See these little cuts here? That's where the truss sits on the wall plate. So we just spent the day yesterday getting them ready and getting everything set out and marked up on the wall plate, ready to go. And today we're just lifting them all in and bracing it all up. These trusses are a bit different to the ones we did on the garage. The garage were attic trusses, so they didn't need all this extra work of cutting the bird's mouths. They just sat flat on the wall plate, which is a lot easier way to do it. This is a lot more fanning around really, but it's all to do with the extra strength and stopping the roof from spreading out with the weight on it and things like that. So it's an important thing to do. on these trusses, so those cuts I was talking about, the bird's mouths, they sit like boom down in there, so trusses that way and they lock in. And these, never actually used these before, these are called slide shoes. Basically you nail them in, there's another piece of metal that nails into the bird mouth on the truss, and that just sits there, and I think it's just an extra secure way of fixing these trusses so that they can't push out or slide anywhere. So we got all of them in place. Doesn't look like that many at the minute, because actually we're too short, that we're waiting for the supplier to drop out. But it's quite a complicated roof. I'll show you on the plan. We got like the main bulk of trusses, and then we've got a lot of smaller trusses that we have to cut in between those ones. So it's quite complicated, but I'll show you that as we go. But we got 4 up this morning. It's looking good. Garage has come on a bit. We finished all the bracing, all the actual structural parts of it, so the garage roof trusses are now sound. The only thing we've got left to do is a dormer window on the front. You see that other bit of wood coming across there, that secondary ridge beam? We got that. So once we've all worked together and got these trusses on today, one of the lads is going to jump back on there and hopefully get the dormer window, all the framing and that built today. But then that'll be the garage finished. Fergie is back with us this week. He's on the gable. We got the other gable on the far end up last week. He's getting this gable up to our next scaffold lift today / tomorrow. So it's all coming together. Flush like that, and we cut another strip of this, you know, for that next gap. today's gone well. Got all the main trusses up. The lads have just braced them up fairly temporary just for tonight to make sure they don't go anywhere. And then we just got a load of bracing, make it all safe and strong. And then hopefully I'll get the lads back next week and do some more work because there's a dormer window there. We've still got to get the steel, the ridge beam in on the steel at the back there. And that front bit's like a cut roof, so there's still some work to do there. So these are the other trusses we got. You can see that end, so he's cutting the bird's mouth like we did on the other one. So they're like one-sided. This side, we've got to build in a trimmer that hangs off the other trusses. You can see we've got two lots of quadruple trusses. We've got trimmers that hang off of them, and these bad boys sit on hangers on that trimmer. We only need a bird mouth one end. Keeping the ceiling height in the corridor, but that's too complicated for me to try and explain. Like, I'll just show you it when it's there. Like, yeah, so we're just going to get these cut today, ready for tomorrow morning, put them straight in. So, last time we saw you, we were putting the roof trusses on. Since then, we've built all the gables now, they're finished. So, I've pretty much nearly finished all the actual building work on the house. Got Joey and his lads, Chippies are back this week. They're getting all the last bits of the roof finished up. So that'll be done. And we're getting ready for the roofers who are hopefully starting next week. Should get it all ready for them. So yeah, once we got the porch roof cut on over that ridge beam, we fixed the ladders. So the ladders, they are those timber bits, they basically look like ladders, so they go up the gable end. So once they were in, I could top out the last bit of stonework, build that up. So just the last little corners, either side of the big feature window, got those nice little bits of stonework right up, kind of fading out to nothing, both sides of the window, into the gable, looking really sharp. And again, luckily for that front bit of stonework, the sun was out. So I don't know how I managed to time that, but finally I had a bit of luck with the stonework on the front elevation, so that worked out really well. Garage is pretty much done, all the building work's finished. We've done the gables. We've sorted the dormer in the middle, which I'm really happy with. That looks really smart. It's got a Velux window either side. That's going to look good. The only thing we've got left on there is the fascia boards, which I think they might do today or tomorrow. And then that is all done. That bit's ready for the roof then. So Joey and Jack are building this porch roof today around here. I don't know if you can see very well, but we've got some acro props holding the wall plate in place because I completely forgot to order a steel that we needed. So we're just propping the roof up in place for now because the roof's coming next week. They're going to have to put the roof on. And then as soon as the steel turns up, we're just going to slide it up underneath and it'll all work out hunky-dory, hopefully. So this was the biggest gable that we had to get done in stonework. So I managed to get Fergie back here for, well, a lot longer than he wanted to be here, but a good week or two. And the two of us got all this done right up to the top, and it's finished. And I'm really happy with how it's looking. We crept these stones out, these soldiers over the top of the over the top of the window. We crept them out just to make a bit of a feature, and I think that looks really smart. We've got another 4x2 to go on here, all the way up.
Yeah.
So we've got like a 200mm face or whatever.
Yeah.
but then that needs to carry on down. It needs to carry on down to there.
Oh, right through it.
Yeah. Although the actual plan does show the roof stepping in a bit, so we could follow the plan and step the roof in a bit, I suppose. So yeah, this is the big feature window, the big steel. But since then we've had this ridge beam. That was too short originally, but now there's the right length. So we've had the ridge beam back, fitted that, that's all bolted up. And that's basically all the strength in the roof. Like all the roof trusses were cut into the top of the steel, and every truss has got a bolt through it holding it onto that centre ridge. So yeah, quite an important bit of the structure, and it's worked out really well. This dormer got built yesterday. This is going over there's like double doors with a Juliet balcony in the master bed, and this is the dormer window that's going over the top of this. Like, really happy with that. Joey and Jack done a good job, and it's the same. It's like the same pitch as the main gable. So when you look at it from the front, it's all like perfect and looks like it should be there. So yeah, really happy with that. Right, it's the back side of the roof, which is pretty much all done. Jake's just here finishing the last bits, setting out the Velux windows. We've got 4 Veluxes on the back going over the 3 bedrooms. He's just cutting out, like trimming around the last one, I think, and then he's going to make a start putting the fascias around. Garage is pretty much up together. I don't think we built this gable last time you were here, so that's the door. Looks a bit weird having a door upstairs, but we've got an external staircase on there at the minute. So you're gonna come out that door onto a little landing, and the stairs are gonna go down that way. So that's why we've got a door up that way, because at the minute the bottom floor is workshop and 2 parking spaces. So to get to the upstairs you need an external stairs to get in, but hopefully, or we've made the option that at some point in the future we can have a staircase inside, and that first bay that is a workshop will actually be like a ground floor kind of annexy thing, and the stairs will be inside, and then upstairs and downstairs will be linked together then. So this part of the build is been left down as a single story, because all of this section, this kind of L-shaped section, is flat roof. But we can't build out a flat roof, obviously, until we finish everything that's up on the top floor that we need this scaffold for. So all the rendering, the painting around here, and fitting the windows. As soon as all that's done, we can drop this scaffold, and then we build our flat roof across here. The timbers basically sit in this steelwork and across onto the other steels the other side. We can build our flat roof. This section of the roof has got like a roof lantern in the middle to let a load of light down through into the dining room side of the kitchen, and the same here, where you're going to have either like 1 big window or maybe 3 separate smaller windows, and maybe the same there, because that's the main area of the kitchen there. You've got all the units down this side of the house, you've got island. So we just got to be careful where we put the windows so it all looks symmetrical when you're sat down eating your breakfast or whatever. The windows are in the right place and things like that. So looking forward to getting that bit done, but we can't do that bit yet until we've done the other bits. So at this point you get a real good feel for why these steels are so big, and we had such a hard day getting them in. they've got to be this size to carry all this. You can really see the whole corner of the house is just floating on top of this beam now. So that's why we had big double beams this way, big double beams that way, sat onto a beam this end. That's why it's all such big steel work, because it's carrying a lot of weight on the side of the house site. But it looks really cool, and it's going to give us that clear open plan downstairs kitchen diner, like without having to have a pillar in the middle like was the original plan.
Yeah, same overhang here as we have here.
Yeah, I reckon.
Thinking.
Yeah, that'll all tie in nice then, won't it?
So whatever that is, so like 120.
Yeah.
Yeah, that one's going to follow on the angle, isn't it? I know that'll come in the ground, isn't it?
Yeah, where should we bring that?
120 out.
Oh, what? So that's got the same overhang?
Yeah.
Oh, I'm with you, yeah.
So it sort of follows around the same thickness.
Yeah, that'll look dreamy, I reckon, won't it? The roofers have been here a few days now. They've got the house and the garage felt and battened, so the roof is all fairly watertight. They've started slating a few bits where they can. We'll show you around in a minute, show you the bits they've done. We're just waiting on some Velux windows which are coming tomorrow, and then they can fit all of them, and then there's nothing stopping them slating the whole lot. So the next week or two should kind of see it finished off. So this is what we're putting on the roof. Spanish slate, and it looks absolutely beautiful. They've slated a few little bits here and there, and it's starting to look really nice. So slight problem, there might be a little hold up with the ridges on the roof. I went for these are like called a universal one or something, so they fit most roofs, but because I've got quite a steep pitch on these roofs, you plonk them on, they sit on the ridge, and then you end up with a bit of a gap down these sides and they can rattle a bit. So Harry wasn't best pleased with them, because I just went for the cheapest ones I could get that look good. So apparently I've got to spend like 3 times as much getting some better ones that fit, so really looking forward to that. Hopefully I'll get them here soon, and it won't cause a delay. So the other week, when Joey and Nat were last here, we were getting the roof ready for the roofers. We had to build this lean-to porch roof up here, but at the time I hadn't ordered steel. So this turned up last week, I think, and it went in a dream. Yeah, we just bolted it all together and lifted it in, and it all slotted in exactly where it's supposed to, and it worked fine. So I was just, I didn't get around to doing it last week. I was just putting the bolts on the bottom here, going to tighten that up so it can't go anywhere, and just tidy up some other bolts, and then take these props out and hope it stays there. The main roof's all getting done. The only other roofing we've got to do is these 2 flat roofs across here and across the back of the kitchen there. But we can't do that until they've finished the roof. They've also got to do the rendering. See this block work on the back? So half the back is all render. So the plasterers need to do the rendering first, and then we need to get it painted. Also fit the windows. Once all that's done, then we can drop this scaffold right out of the way, and then we can build the flat roof it, and then that bit will be done. So this part of the roof is looking really smart. Love the lead detail around here and the slate on the dormer looks epic. But we nearly had a nightmare because when we set this window out, me and Joey, we'd set it down here somewhere. Like the actual size of the window was taller. And I'd ordered the windows. And then when the roofers came, they said, well, that's not going to work because you need an upstand for the lead, which is obvious, you know, when someone tells you afterwards. Basically, we didn't have that upstand, and there would just be like rain smashing in under the window and stuff. But luckily, well, the window guy was on holiday, but luckily he did answer the phone, and he managed to change the size of the window we needed, so it didn't cause any delay, and you know, there's no drama really, he just changed it. But back of the garage is all set. They've set it all out, and they've put the first 2 courses of slates on, because on the back here we've got the solar panels going on. I think it's 16 panels, and I think it covers pretty much most of the roof. But they need the first couple on because the panels, what I understand, the panels sit on here, and they've got a tray that go over these ones, so no rain can get, you know, in under there. And then they fit the panels, and then they slate over the top of the rest of it, you know, like around the edges. So they needed to get that done, because I think Robbie's coming to fit the solar panels on Thursday and Friday, so we just had to get that done, ready for them. It's all going good. The roof's looking really smart behind me. Lads have been cracking on with that. They got all the Velux windows in on the house yesterday. I think they got 2 Velux windows to get in on the garage. They might do that today, I'm not sure. We've got the lads fixing the solar panels on the roof today. That's looking really good. It's tying in really well with the slate and things like that. And I'm just spuddling about, getting some little jobs done, ready for the window fitter on next week, or the week after. So this is what the roof's look like so far. Got all these Veluxes in yesterday and slated in round them. The roofer's doing a real good job. Real happy, it's looking really good. So this is Harry, the roofer.
Jay, how you doing?
Good man. So Harry done all the roofing on the houses and garage. We'll just go and have a little walk around with him, and he can talk us through what he's done.
So these are Spanish slate. They are 20 inches long, 10 inches wide. There's about 4,000 on this roof. Veluxes, lead, expensive.
Fucking expensive.
Yeah. They are when you buy the 4,000 of them, I suppose.
Yeah.
It all adds up, and you get us to do it as well.
Yeah, that's the worst bit. And the lead's expensive, the windows are expensive.
Yeah, it's quite a high end sort of way going about mixing contemporary with traditional, really.
Yeah.
It's been quite popular in the last sort of 20 years to do that.
Yeah. So it's worth paying the extra to get the nice finish, isn't it?
Yeah,
I think.
yeah, for sure. Flat, straight lines. Everyone likes the grey at the moment. That's the in colour, isn't it?
Yeah.
It sort of matches with the anthracite windows, doors, fascia boards.
Yeah. All goes together well.
Yeah.
And the stonework as well. It complements some blue lights.
So they've been fixed with 100mm stainless steel hooks, which is a nice way of finishing it. They sort of there's a lot less stress on the slate. As opposed to putting 2 copper nails in each slate, 1 hook per slate. It's a lot safer. You're not going to necessarily get so much hairline breaks in the slate. And if you were to get a broken one, it's not going to slip down and hit anyone on the head or damage a car or
Yeah, that's the point. Yeah, I suppose when you're there, there's a lot more chance of breaking them.
Yeah, yeah, and you don't necessarily know about it until you have a frost or two, and then they start slipping away.
Oh yeah. So this is solar panels, they're in, all finished. Really happy with that. We went for the flush ones, so I think they're called inlay or something like that. Yeah, basically just really happy with how it's all come out. The slates look awesome. The velexes look good inside there. I love all the lead work, the lead detail, things like that around the dormer, that's really smart. The garage and the house, I'm just really happy with how it's all come together now. And it looks really cool, like that angle as well there. You've got the gables on there and there. You've got the valley, the windows, there's a lot going on and it all looks really smart, like so. Yeah, really happy with it. Right, so we've got Joey, Jack and Jake back today. And they're setting up all the stud work. We've separated the bedrooms, got the 3 bedrooms, got the ensuite, dressing room at the back. And yeah, it's nice to see it all taking shape, see where everything's going. But yeah, me and Joey just went around first thing this morning and marked out exactly where all the walls are going. Then what they do, you screw the base plate in place where that's going. And then from there, you can mark where your uprights are going, fix all of those. Sorry, put the base plate, then the top plate, then all the uprights, and go from there. So yeah, I'm just starting to think about the staircase. We've left these holes out for joists to go in, so across to there. So there's going to be a little bit of a landing there, and the staircase is starting on the bottom, going up there, twisting and coming up here. So I'm just trying to plan where it's going to end up because I need to get that staircase ordered and made and designed and all that kind of stuff. So I'm just trying to get my head around it now. Oh, Jesus Christ. So we've got the stud work, got it up. We haven't got it all boarded yet, but we've got most of the outline set up now, which is good because it means you can kind of get a feel for the rooms and what's going to be what. So in here, so that's the landing. You're going to come up there and it's like quite a wide hallway here. So in there is the main bathroom, going to be in there. And then through here, this is like the second biggest bedroom, I think, which is nice. They got velexes in yesterday, they're looking really smart. And then this is like the smallest bedroom. So it's got 2 velexes. It's got no actual real window because it's like a chalet bungalow kind of thing, so that's why we put an extra velex in there so it doesn't feel like you're small and trapped in. It's gonna have like a fitted wardrobe and desk area and that. Then around here, this one will be the master. In through here, there's like a wardrobe going to be built on this side. It's got big double doors with like a Juliet balcony kind of thing going on there. This will be the actual bedroom. In that one is an ensuite, just like a shower and toilet kind of vibe. And then this little back room is the walk-in wardrobe. So yeah, stud work is built. Now usually you just put your plasterboard straight onto that, bit of insulation in the middle, and then you plaster straight on your plasterboard. But on stud work, I really like to put OSB on it. It's like a bit like a plywood. I like to put that on first, and then the plasterboard, and then you skim. It just gives you a really strong wall, and there's no chance of tripping over and putting your head through it or anything like that and making dents that you don't need to make. So it just makes a good strong wall. So once the stud work's done, we like to board one side and leave one side open, and that means the electrician and the plumber and that they can still get into the walls to run all their cables through and things like that. Same with the ceilings. We don't put the ceilings up yet until the electrician's run all his cables and lights where he wants them. So then once that bit's done, then we insulate in between all the studs, insulate the flat roof and the ceiling, and then it all gets plasterboarded, ready for plastering. So yeah, I'm just doing a fiddly job today really, which is putting these in the cavity closures. It just closes the end of the cavity, keeps it all watertight and warm. These are insulated as well. I'll show you one in a minute on the other side. But basically I just go in there, nail them up through here. And that's that. Put a bit of silicone down this side and it's all sealed up nice. That's because the window fitters come in a few days and these need to be in beforehand. So it's just an annoying job I'm getting on with today. Yes, this cavity closures. Literally, they just close the cavity. When you build your block work, you put an insulation in and you just leave this insulation down like 30 mil, because you've got about 30 mil on here. That side's plastic, so that's the side that goes on the outside, so no moisture or damp can come in through there. And that is the insulated bit, just so you don't get a cold bridging gap. And what you do is just put a bit of silicone on, which I'll try and do. Just along this outside edge. Sweet, and just bang some nails in this side, and that is done. We've got the chippies back today. They are on the garage at the minute, just setting out all the battens on the outside because the garage is being cladded. So they're just getting all the battens on for that. And then they're going to come in here and start plasterboarding the ceilings, ready for the electrician, set all his lights and things out. But before they do that, I'm just trying to get ahead of them on a bit of installation that needs to go, like I've done here, all along the slopey bits. I'm trying to get all that done, just because it's easier to do it now than before they board. Oh, Matt, the window man, he's coming at some point, and he's going to start putting some windows in the actual house and things. So that's quite cool. Right, so basically, yeah, I'm getting the insulation in here. I've got 200mm going in there in between the trusses, and what I do is basically just get a bit of really good idea, because you've got to have airflow behind that insulation. I've tacked a 1x1 batten basically to the top of the truss, and that way you can just bang your insulation in, it's in the right place. I've still got the 200mm I need there, and it allows that airflow. If you look, can you see that? Yeah, if you look down there, you can see where I finished the brickwork at the top of the cavity. There's a perfect little 20mm gap, and then you see the 20mm gap on that 1x1 timber, and it just allows the whole roof to breathe and things like that, so it doesn't get condensation or anything like that. the middle with your hand spread. Yeah. And then just get it upright. Walk it in towards you. Get your fingers under it. Like that, yeah? And that's how you don't snap it. Carry it into here. Okay, exactly the same as the OSB. When I did the rundown of what's happening today, I mentioned everyone but Harvey, and he got real shitty with me, so we're giving him his own special little airtime of him trying to carry in a piece of plasterboard. The reason I didn't mention him earlier is because he forgot his boots today. Even though I bought him a pair of boots, fucking turned up without them. Chippies today, they're getting all these battens on the garage because the garage is being cladded with, it's not timber, it's like cement, it's like fake timber, it's like a cement board, I can't remember what it's called. It's getting cladded with that, which you can't fix straight to the blockwork. You need, so you need the battens on there, and I think you need a bit of airflow. I think that might be the other reason, but yeah, you need the battens on there. So they're fixing all of these in place, and then the cladding gets nailed to that all the way up, horizontal cladding up like that. So we've got that on the three sides of the garage. The back side is being rendered, so they're just getting that done today. It's a nice job to get done. Once I've decided what cladding to get, it's ready to go. As always.
So we didn't have to use jacks.
Thank fuck for that. Hey ho!
Lovely.
Hell of a fry. So things are moving on inside as well. I managed to get all that fiddly, annoying insulation done on the pitch roof bits, and a mixture of Joey and his lads have been plasterboarding, and also the plasterers have done some plasterboarding as well while they've been kind of in between doing other things. So starting to move on. We've got most of the ceilings on. We've got some of the plasterboard on the walls. I just need to get the door linings fitted, and then they'll plasterboard to that. Basically we're just trying to get it all ready for first fix electric. So they want all the ceilings up so they can put all their lights in the right place, and they want one side of all the stud work OSB'd and plasterboarded, so at least they can fit, you know, they can get into the walls to fit switches and whatever they do on one side, and then we board the other side, and all they got to do is poke the cables out through the boards, and they put the sockets and switches and that on that. So we're just trying to get to that point because the electrician's coming in 2 weeks, so we've got plenty of time. I think we should get it all done. So Matt, the window fitter, he's managed to get the windows we needed in for render. He's done all of them. It's the ones upstairs. They're looking really nice. Nice, just white, plain, bright inside, and then grey on the outside. We'll show you in a minute. But happy with that. They're looking good. We still need the doors for here, but yeah, good so far. So Matt, the window guy, he got these done. We've still got to put fascias on, but he got the soffits done quickly, just so we could get the rendering done. It's nice to get the soffits on first, render up to them, and then you hide the fixings. You don't see the fixings at the back. He's also got the windows. We've gone for anthracite grey. You can't see, obviously, because it's all been taped up so that it doesn't get ruined by the render and things like that. But really nice colour. We'll show you them somewhere else. They go really well with the render and the stonework and the roof and all that. It all ties in nicely together. So yeah, this is the colour. Looks really nice with the stonework. They're not finished yet. He's still got a foam and seal around the edges and things, but I guess he just does all that at the end. He gets them all in and then finishes them all up. But no, really happy with that. They're looking good. I've actually used this colour window on
quite a few properties the last couple of years, and it just seems to go with everything, and everyone loves it. So fairly safe bet.